Hi in-laws, one of our members don't enter one chance. According to her, she said she married her sugar daddy out of pity because of the way the man was complaining seriously about his first wife. So in order to help the man live long, she decided to marry him. Now this is her story. I want to read exactly what she wrote there and why she need your help. She said, I met my sugar daddy a few years ago while I was still in university. He was charming, generous, and always there to support me financially. At that time, I had no intention of getting seriously involved with him. I knew he was married, and I never thought our relationship would go beyond what it was, just fun and financial benefits. But over time, my sugar daddy had begun to open up to me about his marriage. He would tell me stories about how his wife was wicked, disrespectful, and never gave him peace of mind. According to him, she was always fighting and they had been on the brink of divorce for years. He painted a picture of a woman who didn't care about him or their children, and I started feeling sorry for him. I believed he deserved better. Slowly, I found myself getting emotionally involved. He would say things like, You are the peace I need in my life, and I wish I had met you first. He assured me that he wanted to leave his wife, but that he was staying only for the sake of their children. He convinced me that I would make him happy in ways his wife never did. He even suggested that we should get married, assuring me that as his second wife, I will have a good life and things will be peaceful between us. He got me an apartment far from his home. I was hesitant at first, but he was persistent. He kept telling me that he was not happy in his marriage and that I was the only one who brought him peace. He promised me the world, love, care, and comfortable life. Eventually, I gave in and I agreed to marry him as a second wife. That was the beginning of my nightmare. Shortly after the wedding, things started to change. He, his promises of peace and happiness were nowhere to be found. He became distant, and I could see that he wasn't the man I thought he was. Whenever I tried to ask him about it, he would snap at me or say he was busy. His attitude was completely different from the love man I thought I knew. Then I got pregnant, and I hoped that things would go better once our child was born. But it only got worse. He stopped coming home as often, and when he did, he barely spoke to me. I noticed that he was spending more time with his first wife, the same woman he had called wicked and troublesome. At first, I thought it was just because of the children. But then I heard from mutual friends that he had reconciled with her. They were even attending events together, social events together. Something he used to complain about when we were still dating. The worst part is that I discovered everything he told me about his wife was a lie. She wasn't the monster he made her out to be. In fact, people who knew her spoke highly of her, describing her as a kind and hardworking woman who had stood by him for years. I realized too late that he had only used me to satisfy his selfish desires. After I gave birth, he became even more cold and distant. distant. He barely acknowledged our child and seemed completely uninterested in being part of our lives. He would spend days, even weeks, without contacting me. And I soon realized that he had fully gone back to his first wife. Now I am stuck in a situation I never imagined for myself. I am a second wife, living in isolation with a child, while the man who promised me love and care has abandoned me. I feel betrayed, humiliated, and used. My husband has turned into someone I no longer recognize, and I don't know what to do. I have thought about leaving him, but I worry about how I will cope with the child. I don't want to go back to my family because I know they never supported my decision to marry him. They warned me, but I was blinded by the love and the promises he made. Now I feel lost and confused. I need advice on what to do next. Online in-laws, what do you advise her to do? The matter is on our table. Let us meet in the comment section. Thank you. I still remain the chairman of Online In-Laws, Marane TV. Remain blessed.